Some of y'all don't understand English. You speak English, but you don't understand the words and what they mean, okay? And this leads to a lot of disagreements and arguments between us because some of us aren't following. We putting our own words on the stuff. We making up our own words. And so this kind of goes back to the discussion on the Quran. I followed up with my brother, and he was trying to give me some insight as to what the other brother was saying. He was making comments about the Quran and the Bible as I was speaking. And I didn't understand what he was talking about. The reason I didn't understand, see, people think you playing games with them. I don't understand you because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're not speaking English. Words mean something, people. They mean something. But that kind of goes back to that pride. We think we know more than what we know. We don't even know basic English. So my brother was trying to tell me that just like the dude was saying, I thought he said tampered, and I was mistaken. I went back and watched the video. He said, you, talking to me, you just said they changed it. That's not what I said. And I went back and played the video and watched the comments. So me and my brother both were wrong. Okay? I didn't say, but the point is, I never said what he said I said. I used the word removed. Anybody can go back and watch the video. I used the word removed. Removed does not mean changed. It does not mean tampered. They are different words. They are not synonyms of each other. We have a source, okay, where you go, where you can, let's try to be smart, people. Everybody think they smart. Well, let's go back to school, okay? When you wanted to make an argument in school, you had to do a citation. You had to show where your information comes from. So my information is coming from Webster's Dictionary and Webster's Thesaurus, okay? That's my citation. Anybody you can Google it. You can look it up if you got one in your house, however you want to do it. Look up the word tamper. Look up the word removed, however you want to do it. Or look up the word change. Okay, look up those three words. Okay, they are not synonyms of each other, people. They mean different things. So the brother was trying to be cute. And like I pointed out on a later video, that was the way I was leaning. I'm really sure now he was trying to be cute. That's why he changed my words. Those wasn't my words. I used the words removed. Okay, I used the word removed. That does not mean tampered. That doesn't mean changed. Okay, look it up. Look up the words. Webster's, that's what we've been using all our lives. Webster's, right? Dictionary and Thesaurus. That's the source. That's the citation. This ain't hard. I mean, I don't understand where the confusion comes from. But I do understand, but it's just amazing. It's fascinating to me how we could be so ignorant. We've been looking in this dictionary and thesaurus all our lives, people. So let me give an explanation of what I mean, okay? So we talk about tamper and remove right now. So if I go outside right now and I look at the car and I say the tire was removed, ask yourself this question: am I saying that the tire is on the car or off the car? Is the tire still attached to the car? No. That's what it means to remove something. It doesn't mean the rest of the car was altered in some kind of way. All I'm talking about is the tire being removed from the car. Now, let's say I go out there and say, oh, my tire has been tampered with. Do you immediately think that the tire is not on the car no more? No. It could be anything. The air could be out the tire, could be a nail stuck in it. Somebody took the bolts loose. Tampered could mean a lot of different things, but it doesn't mean removed from the car. That's the difference. One means removed, to take away from. So even with change, the brother was trying to be cute and he used the word changed. Change, think about it. When you change your clothes, right? So if I say to somebody, I'm going to go change, I'm changing my clothes, right? And I come back, I'm going to go in the room and change my clothes. And I'm going to come back out the room. Do I have clothes on or do I have clothes on? Or are my clothes off at this point? Because change doesn't mean remove. If I go back there and say I'm going to remove my clothes or I'm going to remove my shoes, that means I'm taking them off. I'm not putting something else in its place. That's what change means. You change one thing from one thing to another thing. And usually that thing is a different thing. Okay? In most cases, change. If you scramble an egg, isn't still not an egg? Did you change the egg? So did you change the egg from an egg to something else? No. But then they want to be cute and you changed the state of the egg. And no, that's not what was said. Read the sentence. Read basic English, people. Don't put your own meanings into what you think people are saying. That's where the confusion comes from. So the brother in the video simply said, you said, meaning me, say they changed it. No, I didn't. I didn't say that. I say they removed a group of books out of the Bible. That's different from they changed it. Tampered means altered, or you're being mischievous. You're altering it for a mischievous intent. Read the definitions. That's usually when you use the word tampered. Somebody tampered with your window. They didn't necessarily break in. They didn't remove the window. They was messing with the window. It looks like somebody was messing with it. Your door was tampered with. Doesn't mean they broke in. Doesn't mean that they removed the doorknob, but your doorknob was tampered with. This is basic English. And if we can't understand this ain't about agreement, because I can sort the sites, which is Webster's. What y'all saying don't have no source. It's something you made up in your own mind. That's why the Bible tells you not to do that. That's where evil thoughts come from. Stop making up your own stuff. And he was trying to tell me, the brother was trying to say that the Quran was the only book that hadn't been tampered with. Well, that's not true. But he wasn't saying that. It's not a true statement. First of all, even if that's what he was saying, that's not a true statement. Okay? Because the Quran wasn't written. It was a recitation, right? So there was no book. They wrote it later, right? It's a recitation. And why was it a recitation? Because Muhammad could not read and write. So he had to memorize everything. Right? This is y'all history, not mine. I'm not an Arab. I'm not from the tribe of Ishmael. That's what the Bible says. The Arab man comes from Ishmael, correct? Not Jacob. Right? Didn't Moses teach us this? Y'all believe in Moses, right? Moses taught us this. So what are we talking about? I didn't want to have this conversation, but I tried to get clarity to make sure I was, as I'm supposed to, answering the brother directly. But I'm not going to agree that words have synonyms that they don't have. That's not what I'm going to do. Nor can you prove it. Prove it in the dictionary or at the source. Words mean something different, people. But this is the confusion. It's the same thing earlier I made on the video earlier where I provided the scripture where you're supposed to love your husbands, women. And the girl went and got another translation of the Bible, one that white people made up. Later on, in recent years, they just made that shit. Okay? So for thousands of years, the word has been love. Now, all of a sudden, in the last 100 or so, now in the last 100 years, or not even, and probably ain't even 100 years yet, within recent years, they made up a new Bible that says they replaced the word love with like. It means something different. Because if you don't understand what God said love is, God said love is keeping the commandments. Like doesn't mean that. Okay, so that changes the whole meaning of the scripture with just that one word. Okay? That's the difference. But what they changed, and I had this conversation earlier too, they removed the Apocrypha. It was in there for thousands of years up until 1885. And in 1885, they took the group of books called the Apocrypha out of the Bible, of the King James Version, which is the authorized version. They took it out. Words mean something, people. Oh, they hid the books from us and this and that. That was recently when they did that. You could still, she was telling me, oh, you got to spend hundreds of dollars to go get the books. No, you don't. It's called the Apocrypha. You go right on Amazon. It's less than $20. So I'm giving her the information. The information is there. This is what you're saying that they removed. These are the books that you're talking about that they removed. They're still available. And they were available up until 1885. Those books are still around. It's called the Apocrypha. That's Sirach and all the Maccabees and all of that. I think Maccabees is in that one too. That's those books. But y'all getting the information from people who ain't keeping the commandments. They don't even have understanding themselves. That's why you are confused. I'm explaining to you what it is. These are the books you saying was hidden from us. Supposedly they buried in the bottom of the Vatican. Where did you get that information from? Who said that? It's public knowledge that they took out the Apocrypha. It's public knowledge. And they gave a bullshit explanation, the Romans did, of why they did it. After thousands of years, all of a sudden, they decided that they was going to take out the Apocrypha. Because they're trying to hide the truth from you. They want y'all confused, which is what we are. You are oppressed. Stop being oppressed. And when your brother is trying to tell you something, you don't even want to listen. You want to argue and tell us what the white man did. Well, if you don't want to listen to the white man, shut the fuck up and let me tell you. But then you assume you know where my knowledge comes from. That's your pride. I studied English in college, people. So now I got people who didn't go to college, and this is not me shooting them down. This is a statement of fact. You didn't go away to college. You didn't study English. That's what I did. But you want to be the expert over me on English. That's pride. That's vain thoughts. That's a sin. We got to stop doing that. This is basic. So I guess the next thing that's going to come up, oh, well, Webster was a white man and we ain't supposed to listen to him. Well, white man invented the English language. We got to go to them for the source. But this is the foolish thinking that people say, the stuff that people say all the time. And they want to say, I'm not going to argue with you. You're not arguing. Because if you were making an argument, a valid argument, you would be making a citation. So you're just rambling off at the mouth. I hear that statement. I can't even tell you how many times during the week I hear that statement. I don't want to argue. You're not arguing. There is a way to argue. Cite your source. What is your source? Hell, not only can y'all not cite it, you can't even paraphrase it. This is basic. Information, people. We learned this in 3rd grade and 4th grade. Right? Miss Staples, I hope you hear me. You need to call me. I've been looking for you. I hope you're all right. I'm sorry, that was a sidebar. It was somebody I've been looking for. I was trying to check on her, make sure she okay. Anyway, and this is not to down y'all. I'm trying to correct you, but we hate correction. We hate correction. You can't argue this because you have no citation to support your argument. So you're wrong. It's not Van saying you're wrong. Webster's is saying you're wrong. Google is saying you're wrong. Okay? Give a citation, people, for your arguments. Y'all just make up stuff. And I'm telling you where the information is and where it's coming from. I'm telling you my source, my citations. Y'all got to start listening to somebody. Stop listening. Y'all doing exactly what the white man and the Arab man and the Chinese man and the East Indian man and every other nation has told y'all to do. That's what y'all are doing. And at the same time, you want that to be the same thing, the same reason that you're misinformed. You want to be the justification for why you don't want to get informed. Like, that's crazy. You can't have it both ways. That's being double-minded. I typically try not to get in conversations with the Hindus, with the Indians, the East Indians, with the Muslims, the Buddhists. I try not to get into conversations with them because their religions do not matter to me. They don't matter. They don't matter to God. So I know some little bits and pieces of some things. I don't claim to be an expert on none of those other religions. Never have I. I don't claim to be an expert on no religion. Because that's not what God gave us. God gave us the laws. That's what we're supposed to follow. That's what Jesus said, follow when he came. Not religion, not Christianity. But some of y'all are so screwed up. Y'all get offended when somebody say the word Christianity. But somebody say laws of God, and you don't feel no kind of way for that. Why is that? That's what was given to us, not religion. Those are traditions of men, thus said the Lord. Stop following them traditions of men. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I just felt the need to talk about the English language. That's really what this video is about, the English language. And I run into this all the time where people think one word means something else entirely different. And that's why there's confusion in the conversation. Because if you think blue means blue and the other person think blue really means green, they're not going to know what you're talking about. Because you're going to be saying the sky is blue, and they like, no, it's green. Or they saying blue, but they think green. They thinking green because they don't know what the word means. Words aren't just interchangeable where you could just throw them all, pick and choose which ones you want. Certain words are synonyms of each other. So those words are typically interchangeable. But all words aren't interchangeable with each other. They mean different things. They have different meanings. That's all I got, people. Like and share, follow me.